Hey, what's up, bro? Uh, you know, I thought instead of typing you this freaking long ass email that you have to freaking read through, why don't I make you a video? Check it out. Oh, yeah, it's so sweet. Such a sweet baby. Anyways, so I was talking, you were asking me, hey, how does this compare? All right, well, screen, sound, memory, speed, better Wi-Fi. Screen, sound, memory, speed, better Wi-Fi. It's better in every way. And you're basically paying actually less than whoever paid for the original Chromebook that we got. I got one up there that I call Mom's, and you got one, and I think they were $300 each back in the day. This thing was $300, and the refurbished one is $259. So anyways, all right, first of all, the screen. The screen on here is beautiful. I don't know if you can grok that at all. I don't know if it's showing. I couldn't see what I was filming there. But, excuse me, basically, on our old Chromebooks, the screen was 768 pixels, which was a standard for a very long time. This one is a full 1080p. Means 1080 pixels compared to 768. That's the current high definition standard. The pixels are so dense on this 13-inch screen that it looks like a Retina display on my Mac. It's not quite as sharp, but you almost can't see the pixels. Very nice screen. And if you're watching movies, this screen is freaking great. Like on Netflix and stuff. Oh, it's amazing. The sound. Our old Chromebooks sounded pretty awesome. They had a nice kind of surround sound thing, but they always had kind of a cardboardy feeling. And when I would compare them to the Mac was very pristine. But the Mac, it had a very pristine treble. Its mid-range was okay. On Chromebooks, the mid-range has a kind of a cardboardy thing that I never could get past. It was good. It was good sound for what it was, but it was like this thing. The speakers in here are designed by Skullcandy, who is some company that makes speakers for laptops or whatever, and you can really tell. It's subtle. It can be subtle, but the mid-range is just there's so much definition. You're not going to get bass. This is a laptop, so forget bass. All right, but for mid-range, this thing is sweet. All right, now memory. This has 4 gigs of RAM, whereas our old Chromebooks only had 2. These days, you can hardly operate with 2 gigs of RAM, even on a Chromebook. So 4 gigs, doubling it, that's great. You have to understand, when we double RAM like that, RAM is very expensive. That's a type of memory. That's your immediate memory. Long-term storage is your system storage, is like your hard drive or whatever. So this has more RAM, double the RAM. The system storage is still only 16 gigabytes, but neither you nor I have used all that 16 gigabytes. I personally don't use it at all. I put everything on the cloud. But if you want to save stuff locally, 16 gigabytes is plenty to save your photos and things like that. But I would encourage anybody who uses a Chromebook to use Google Drive and Google Photos to store all their photos. You might as well save it in the cloud. It'll do it automatically. It'll back it up automatically from your phone or whatever. Speed. Our old systems ran on Atom processors. This was a cell phone processor running on a Chromebook computer. A processor for a cell phone. This computer actually has an Intel Celeron, and it's 2 cores. Therefore, it technically, under certain circumstances, it can use both cores simultaneously. It's kind of like, think of it as like a turbo. You know, get the revs up and the turbo kicks in and boom, you're going, man. You're fucking going. So that's the thing with this thing. It's got good speed, and you notice it most when you're scrolling. It's just fucking smooth. And that's another thing. The trackpad on here is way better than our old trackpads. Now, the keyboard isn't as good. The keyboard on those old Chromebooks we have is one of my favorite keyboards ever. I have one aluminum keyboard that is portable and uses Bluetooth, and it's made by Apple, and it costs $65. It's made out of aluminum. It's fucking awesome. Best keyboard ever. But if you can't have that, our old Chromebooks have easily the best keyboard. This keyboard is quite acceptable. It's comparable to the keyboard on my Mac, which was a $950 computer, and that was the refurbished version. The other thing that I want to finally mention about this is that it does have better Wi-Fi. It has the new standard, which is AC. The old Wi-Fi standard was N, B, G, all these different things. Those were from like 2011 and shit like that. This Wi-Fi standard is a little bit faster, and it lets you get a little bit farther away from your Wi-Fi source. For instance, on our old Chrome computers, I could not sit out here under the tree and be online. It simply would not get the signal. But this new Chromebook computer does get the signal, similar to the way my Mac did. Now, my Mac kind of, it was the Mercedes, so of course it could get a signal even farther away. But this is not bad, and it's way better than the original Chromebook, which wouldn't get a signal here at all. So anyways, so that's a kind of a summary of what I think is great about this particular Chromebook, which is what you had asked me. So I'll catch you later, bro.